beautiful people. How is everyone out there? I hope you are doing amazingly well. Welcome to my channel. I am so grateful and excited to have you here and this opportunity to sit down and share this time with you. In the topic of today's video, we are going to be talking about spiritual protection and cleansing and going over 4 of my personal favorite must-have herbs to keep on hand at all times in the event that you need to do some work for protection and or for clearing and removing blockages and obstacles. If this is a topic that interests you, you're definitely going to want to stick around to the end of the video. And if you find some value in this content and find it to be helpful, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Now, if you are a returning subscriber, love virtual hugs. Thank you so much. Shout out to my day oneers. If you are new here, hi. My name is Jasmine Aten, Mystic at the Crossroads. I am your favorite witch's favorite witch here on YouTube, and this channel is dedicated to helping you create a life that you love through the use of candle magic, law of attraction, and conjure. So let's talk protection. Now, first of all, let's kind of just get a very clear understanding on what exactly is spiritual protection. What does that mean, and how can these herbs really help you? What do they offer, and how do they help protect you spiritually? So first of all, you may see the word or the term spiritual protection thrown around a lot more now than probably you would have before or back in the day. And the reason being is, one, a lot of people are more open and more comfortable and more free about discussing their spirituality, their spiritual practices, okay? Spiritual protection, hexes, jinxes, curses, evil eye, bad luck, cleansing, purification, uncrossing. None of this is new. None of these are new practices. None of these are new terms. And none of the candles or herbs or oils out on the market these days are new, okay? These things have been around for a very, very long time. The difference is now we have a plethora of different social media platforms, ways to get information out there on a much broader spectrum, and people are not kind of shying away from who they are. People are really kind of stepping into their spirituality, and it's not so taboo anymore, because since it seems to be a topic of discussion, it's everywhere now. You can't seem to go anywhere nowadays without seeing crystals or evil eye or candles or anything related to that. More and more people are now feeling a little more comfortable to discuss these things openly, and therefore there's more information that is widely available to you. Now, because of that, spiritual protection is protecting your energy, right? We all know, I've said this in every one of my videos about how we are energetic beings. And I think we all have a basic understanding that thoughts and feelings and emotions transmute and vibrate in energy. So when we're talking about your spiritual protection, we're talking about the energy that is around you, that is physically around your actual physical body, known as your aura, the energy that is in your home, that is brought into the home, either from energy that you have picked out, being out in the world, or things that you have experienced that have created certain emotions and feelings that then turn into energy. When you come home, you're bringing that in. If you live in a household with other people, they're bringing in energy from their environment. So we're talking about keeping that energy cleansed and balanced, because what happens is things that happen energetically manifest into the physical reality. So if your energy is off, if you're being spiritually attacked, if you're absorbing negativity from your environment or from a number or host of things, and you're walking around with that, eventually that negative energy is going to build up over time, and it's going to start to affect you mentally, emotionally, and then spill out into your literal physical environment, your actual life, right? So the areas of your life, your money, your finances, your prosperity, your mental health, your family, your relationships. And it can really almost become a snowball effect, which is why spiritual protection is so important. Now, there is also times where people do really evil and bad things. Hexes and curses is not, it's real. It's very real, and it does happen a lot, unfortunately. And people will throw things out, and then that energy will hit you, attach to you, and as a result of that, it will disrupt what's going on and will create external physical things in your life to occur that will cause bigger, or that can possibly turn into bigger and cause more problems. Now, I will say this, more times than not, a lot of people will think that they have been hexed or cursed, or feel like somebody's got to be doing something to me because all of these issues are occurring in my life and I'm having all of these problems. A lot of the time, however, more times than not, it's not somebody is hexing or cursing a person, but we can tend to self-sabotage unknowingly, unwillingly. But when we have been under a lot of stress, when a lot of things have been going on, we all have that inner critic, that I like to call it limiting character. We can really be hard on ourselves, and sometimes we can be our own blockage. We can literally, from our fears and our worries, anxiety and traumas from past experiences, in actuality, internally, we can be creating these things to manifest in our own life. And I know nobody really wants to hear that. It's very difficult to really kind of process and want to accept the fact that you could potentially be the root cause of your own issues, but that's just the truth. It just really is. And like I said, I see it more often than none. So it's very important when it comes to spiritual protection, especially if you think that you may be hexed or cursed or jinxed or something of that nature, is to have a divination done, get a consultation done with someone who kind of specializes in those sorts of things. There are some ways that you can sort of kind of tell signs or decipher, is this, did somebody do something to me, or is this something that's been going on for a while and I am not necessarily making it worse, but I'm not making it any better, so the problem is still staying around. That's a whole nother video, and there's a lot of different ways to determine that. I did do a video, a very old video, on 10 ways to know if you've been hexed or cursed. But again, the similarities between someone really sending something out to you versus what we can sometimes attract to ourselves can be very close, with a few exceptions, definitely with a few exceptions. So if you're not really sure, then my best advice to you is to seek the help of a skilled practitioner to really help give you some clarity on what exactly is going on, okay? In the meantime, however, regardless of whether you get a confirmation or not, if you know, like, there's things going on in my life and I really need to fix them, then these 4 herbs will definitely help you. So the first one, and there's a lot of different herbs. Let me just also say there's so many out there, so please do not take my recommendations as set in stone. There's a lot of different ones, but these are the ones that I find to be very effective, very affordable, and really easily to access. I try to think of the things that I know most people in most places, regardless of where you live, unless you're, in maybe a small country or something, these things should be relatively accessible to you regardless of where in the world you are, okay? So first and foremost, one of my absolute favorites is lemongrass. And lemongrass is a beautiful herb to work with. It's actually a key ingredient in a lot of oils and herbal blends for things like Van and Road Opener. What lemongrass does is it clears away blockages and negativity. It clears away energy from jinxes, particularly in the home and in the business or work environment. So if your home if the energy's feeling off, if things have been chaotic, if there's just been a lot of quarrels and things are just abnormally not flowing in the household or in your business, or you're just all of a sudden finding that you're having these issues at work that aren't really normal for you, then lemongrass would be a great herb for you to work with to help cleanse that away and offer you some protection, shielding your energy from anything that could potentially attach itself to you again, and then again bring back the same problem. Lemongrass is also good for cleansing your medallion. So if you wear any type of crystals or any talismans or amulets or anything for protection, and you want to give them a nice good cleansing to reset that energy, or even just to cleanse them before you use them for the first time, you can use a little bit of lemongrass. And the way you would do that is you can either burn a little bit of lemongrass on a charcoal as a incense and just sort of smudge it through the smoke. You can take the amulet boil it and bury it in some lemongrass and let it sit overnight. If it's a full moon, maybe placing it in a window where it can get some moon energy. Or you could boil a little lemongrass, which will help extract some of the herbal properties. And as long as the item is water resistant, please, be mindful of that. But if it's water resistant, then you can give it a good, washing with lemongrass. And another way that you can use lemongrass is to help with clearing the mind of brain fog that can come from stress. When we have things going on or when we're dealing with stressful situations, it can be very mentally and emotionally overwhelming, which in turn can have us feeling anxious and all over the place and not really even being able to figure out, okay, where do I start first? Who's on first? Who's on second? And you can just feel very overwhelmed and very mentally foggy. So lemongrass is actually very good medicinally as an essential oil. It can be diffused. It has been used for a very long time to help alleviate some of those symptoms. It can also be consumed as a tea. It has a lot of health benefits, as well as dressing a candle with it that is specific to helping to bring you some calmness and clearing away any type of mental chaos that could be preventing you from sort of sorting things out and figuring out the best solutions to fix your situation, okay? All right, the next herb that I really, really like is Agrimony. Agrimony is phenomenal. Again, another very popular and widely available herb. And what Agrimony does is it's actually great to use for reversing and sending things back from the source. So if it is indeed negative energy, the evil eye, if someone has wished something on you, if there's been some funky energy directed your way, if someone has lit a candle or has sent some energy intentionally to try to harm you, Agrimony takes it and it acts as a reversal and just takes it, stops it, and sends it back to where it came from, as well as offering protection and shielding you so that you can no longer absorb that negativity or be hit from anything kind of funky and evil moving forward. Agrimony is great to dress candles with when you are trying to maybe alleviate somebody who's trying to slander you, or maybe someone's gossiping about you. Maybe you're having trouble in the workplace or trouble in your personal life. So it's very, very good to putting an end to those sort of things that can cause us a lot of disruptions. It's also good for nightmares. So if you are having trouble sleeping at night, if you're having very intense and uncomfortable dreams, then you can dress, I would usually dress like either a white or maybe a purple candle with some Agrimony to help invite some of that healing energy and that calmness, and again, removing anything that could be potentially sparking those nightmares and negative thoughts. And the last way that Agrimony is very helpful is it helps to alleviate fears and worry. And again, a lot of times we can be our own blockage out of fear of the unknown, fear of what will happen if we do this, fear of, oh my goodness, I'm dealing with this problem and I don't know how it's going to turn out. And all of that can just create this snowball of stress. So it's definitely good for removing that fear and that doubt that could be holding us back in, again, contributing more to an issue versus resolving it, okay? The next thing that I like is Hyssop. And Hyssop has been around for centuries. It's been referenced in the Bible. It's widely known use for more so purification and cleansing versus protection in the sense of if you're cleansing and removing stuff, then you're protecting yourself from being affected. But it's not necessarily to shield it. It's more so once you already are aware, like, okay, there's something going on here, I need to get this energy off of me, it removes it and really, really does like a deep cleaning and purification, which in turn, that does protect you in a sense, because now you're no longer walking around with this funky energy that could be creating havoc in your life. Hyssop can be carried in a mojo bag. You can maybe even have a little amulet. So if you have like a locket or something that opens up, or one of those beautiful like crystal perfume bottles, you can put a little bit of hyssop down in there, because its spiritual and energetic properties does offer cleansings, as well as bathing in it. Taking a spiritual bath is actually actually a very common practice, cleansing your house so you can wipe down your, your front door, maybe pour it out your doorway. If you feel like there's a lot of negativity in the house, boil some up and wipe down the front door, wipe down the handle. If you have a porch, just pour the water out amongst the front area of the home to clear away any energy that could be lingering around or that's been coming inside of the house. It is also good for removing blockages to help you get ahead. So if you are feeling stuck and feeling like you've been trying to accomplish things and they're not moving, or you keep hitting these obstacles, then you could dress something like a blockbuster candle, an uncrossing candle with hyssop, and you should see some results from that. And last but not least, this one might actually surprise you. Lavender, believe it or not. And again, similar to hyssop, lavender offers protection in a way from preventing us from kind of being stuck in the situation and not really figuring out a way to fix it. So we all know that lavender has many healing and medicinal benefits on a physical health wise level, but as well it is very good on a emotional, spiritual, and mental level, because one, lavender does calm the mind, bring some clarity and some peace. It does help with preventing you from self-sabotaging. Again, we can self-sabotage from just being in such a almost, I don't want to necessarily say desperate like state, but at a place where you just feel like your back is up against the wall and you just don't know what else to do. That feeling of, I'm gonna fall apart if something doesn't change. Lavender can help really combat that and give you that strength back and give you that clarity and help really kind of calm the mind, and also help prevent you from not supporting yourself, we'll say, in the best possible way. Lavender is also good for restoring energy in the household. So if your home is chaotic, if your family's not getting along, if you're fighting with your spouse, if there's things are just off balance and there just seems to be a lot of negativity and chaos, then lavender. Lavender, you can put it on a candle, like a peaceful home candle. You can add a little bit of the herb onto a white candle if you just want to do clear plain white and just invite that white, clear, peaceful energy into your home. That would be an excellent way of just kind of calming the energy everywhere, between everybody, family members, kids, all that sort of thing, and restoring some peace and balance, and restoring some peace and balance for yourself. So that way, once you're at a little bit of a calmer state and you can kind of think clearly, then you can look into what the necessary steps are for fixing whatever's happening, whether that's through spiritual work or if that's some other means. But at the very least, you'll be able to think clearly and make the appropriate decisions moving forward. Okay, so I hope that helps. That is it for the list. Very simple, very affordable, highly accessible. Has this information been helpful? If so, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments, have you used any of these particular herbs? Are they new to you, or are they something that, like me, you kind of keep them in stock? And if so, do you feel like you've seen success with them? I love reading all of your comments, and I try my best to respond as best as possible. Also, subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss my upcoming videos. It also lets Facebook know that I'm doing a good job. Excuse me, not Facebook. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job, and it allows this content to get circulated out to the community for other people like you that are just trying to help themselves. Okay, again, thank you so much. All of my information to connect with me on social media and directly will be down in the description box below. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.